Welcome to Hydroneer, a game about digging, building things, digging some more, and building more things. It's a sandbox game. Let's get right into it. So we have one goal here, and that is 1 billion money. That's right, our goal is going to be to make a pile of coins, 1 billion insides. See how long it takes. We're going to launch ourselves a new game here, and we will find ourselves in the beautiful little mining operation of Ember Cradle, our starting point. Now, what's interesting about this game is there is no inventory system. You see, I picked up this shovel, and when I'm done with it, it doesn't go into a magical black box. It goes on the ground. And we can get a rack to put it on later, but for now, it's just got to sit on the ground. Let's get started here. We need to dig up some dirt and start finding the goodies on the inside. Now, digging up the dirt is pretty simple. You pick up the little shovel, you click diggable dirt, and you click the bucket, and you can see it went in there. You put up to 4 clicks inside of a bucket here. And boom, there's our bucket full of dirt. We're going to toss it in the pan. And then I need to get water in the pan. I can either walk in, or I can just throw it in there, and now it's got some water in it. Pick up our brush, click on it, and would you look at that? We have goodies. I'm going to pick it up and dump them out so we can take a look. Won't go anywhere. We've got some gold. We've got some iron ore. So that right there will make us a little bit of money. We're just going to dump this stuff on the ground. You hang out right there. And let's dig up another bucket or two here. So, by the way, even if the bucket falls upside down, you can still put stuff into it. Again, 4 clicks till it's full. If you try to put an extra click in, you get the best sound in the game. The active confusion as your character tells you, what are you doing? Now you'll notice as I hover that there's a little icon next to where I'm aiming. That is where this thing is going to dump if I click. So if I click here thinking I'm aiming at the bucket, it's going to dump the dirt right here. So I'm going to aim a little over, and boom. Dirt down. Throw this in the water. Grab it back. Boom. More items. So we got just a piece of gold there. Now, there are some physics as you're dropping things. If you're spinning, for example, and you let go, it kind of throws it and carries some momentum, and you can... Okay, it's not really doing it with this. Can I get it with the bucket? There we go. Nope. Usually I can get things to throw themselves, but apparently this one doesn't want to do it. But we've got some more gold and some more iron. Let's go turn this into money. Into the bucket we go, and then selling stuff in this game is pretty simple. You have scattered around the space these jewelers, as well as a thing called the stock market, and we'll get into selling to the stock market later. For now, we are going to head up this little hill here to the jeweler. You can see the big old sign up there. Plop my pan down. It is worth 45. I assume these are copper coins. They're Hydrocoins. There's our first 45 Hydrocoins. Whatever, 1 billion minus 45 to go. We can put the coins inside the bucket, and we can carry it away. As you see in the bottom left, it tells us that we are actually carrying a pan, not a bucket. But let's take our 45 coins, and let's go shopping. We're going to throw our money in this bucket. This is what lets us spend our money. And we're going to buy some things. So I want some more pans so that I can do more things at once. So we had how much? 45. We'll do 2 pans. And we will get 2 more buckets. Throw them all down there. We will... Can I buy another one? 44. I'm not going to buy another one right now. We'll just put that there. And as you see, this item that I pulled off the shelf, it's like a full item. It's kind of floating around. If you don't want an item you're not going to buy around, just walk out with it. And it'll delete it. So I'm going to click this to buy it. Pull my money out because I don't want to leave the money in the bucket. And then I could carry each of these one by one back over to my little mining station. But we have vehicles. This is a big old vehicle here. We can hop in and drive, but we're not going to use it. We're going like 5 feet. We don't need it. Let's go get our cart. We got a little cart. We can grab it. And then this is just your normal wooden cart. So it's a bit slow. Later on, we can go get a faster cart. which will be one of the things we do pretty quick, because going back and forth, you don't really want to use this big old truck because it's just too big and cumbersome. But for now, we'll just use this. Now you notice because I've paid for this item, I can carry it out, and I can throw it in the cart. Now, one fun thing about this cart is things lose their hitbox, so you can see I can just stack those two into each other, whereas when I was on this plate, everything had a hitbox and was stacking on top of each other. These will all just kind of fall in there, and we can load up our cart with all the items we want. We'll grab our money bucket, throw it on the cart, and then the fun thing about this cart is if I throw this and it's like off balance, the moment you grab the cart and start moving it around, all these items had their physics locked. So this item, no matter how much I like spin around or jump with the cart, because apparently we can make a cart jump, they won't move again. So if you're trying to put something really big and say it's like, I think, oh, I wasn't quick enough, but if I can get this to do it just right here, see, it was like mid-bounce and it stopped, because as soon as you grab the cart, it breaks physics. So if you're trying to throw something big in your cart, just a little trick to make your life a little bit easier. Come back over here with our cart. We are going to place our bucket with the money right here. We're not going to pan in it anymore. We'll fill both these buckets up with water, and you can do the water or dirt step in any order. And we're going to do kind of what we did just a minute ago with the bucket. We are going to fill it up, and then we're going to process it. We've got 3 buckets now, so we can do all 3 buckets. Now, when I first started here, I just dug around the edge. But really what we want to do is go start a hole. So we're actually going to bring all the buckets over here. And we're going to dig down and dig a hole. Now, the reason for that is in Hydroneer, the deeper you go, the better your resources. You get more out of the dirt you dig, and there's even a resource that you can't get on the top layer. So we're going to start digging a hole, and we will get better resources out of the bit of dirt that is from the bottom. Or not really the bottom, but a bit deeper down. So now that those buckets are all filled up, we'll come back over here, we'll dump it, grab another bucket, pour it in, wash it, and then, ooh, look, we even got something new there. We got a uncut emerald. Later, we'll be able to cut these into emeralds and make them worth more. For now, though, we'll just grab all of our goodies, pour them in that bucket, fill this one up with water, grab our other bucket, dump it, clean it, and look, more money, or items, not really money. All right, we're going to do this. We'll do 2 more buckets here before we go sell, because we want to get an item pretty quick here. As we can see, the sun is heading that way. That is where it will set to. Before the sun sets, we want to make sure we get ourselves a bed. So we'll come back over here with this bucket, and we will fill these 2 guys up. So just continue digging our hole as the sun continues to set on us. Digging in the dark is not very fun. So there's bucket 1. Here's bucket number 2. Grab our brush, do the washy-washy, and into the pan it goes. All right, let's go and trade our goods. Now, I'm not going to walk all the way up there with the cart. We're just moving the cart over to the shop, since that is where we are going to need it next. And then we will run up the hill. And you can run by holding the shift key to move a little bit quicker. Here is walking speed, and here's the run speed. So up the hill we go to the jeweler. 79 copper, woohoo. So we got 79 there, plus we have 15 here. Now, these are 2 separate stacks. We want to bring them together. We are going to go and drop. We are going to drop them. Game. We're going to drop them on top of each other. There we go. And they become 1 stack of 92 coins. Sometimes you have to drop them multiple times. They don't always stack right up, but after throwing them a few times, the coins get the message. Alright, so we'll throw this down here. Put that there, and a camp bed will be our first big purchase here. So 24. Can we buy this too? No. This mining helm is super nice, but it is a bit expensive. So we will purchase this, throw our money back in. Now you can also purchase these torches and these lanterns to light things up, but these lanterns aren't very good. We actually have a free one over there, and we'll let it get dark, and I will show you how not good they are. They're effectively useless. If you're having trouble placing something on your cart, just give it a little jump as you let go, and it makes it a little easier to get it to go on there. But we can see it stuck to the cart magically, and we'll head back over to our mining site. So you can see here it's starting to get dark. We can place this bed down, and now I can use this bed to skip through the night. But before we do, let's just pull out this lantern. You can see, not a lot of light. I throw it on the ground, and look how little it lights up. So they're not very useful for lighting up and being able to see much. I kind of wish they were brighter. I think that, you know, the brightest part should end here, not all the way here, and it should extend just a little bit better, especially because, you know, we want to be able to see as we walk around. But anyway, sun is starting to set. It'd be kind of hard to dig now because you come over here and, like, you can't even see this hole. You just be walking along and down into the hole, and then you get stuck. So we are going to skip on over to the daytime. Well, to sunrise more than daytime. It does take you to where it's still pretty dark because the sun is just barely coming up. We're up at the crack of dawn, and it'll be a couple minutes here before we're fully able to see, but light is coming. And now I'm just going to take a couple minutes here, and I am going to go and buy a couple more pans, a couple more buckets. I like to have 5 working pans, 5 buckets, plus an extra pan that hangs out, that holds my money and the things I'm going to go sell with. I'm going to buy those pans, probably fill them full of stuff 4 or 5 times, sell it all, and then we will be back once we have ground out a little bit of material. Alright, so I've picked up some extra buckets, some extra pans, and I've been doing some work. I've loaded these pans up 4 times and dumped all the goodies into here. We're going to do it one more time. I'm just going to kind of show you the general process I do during this early part of the game when your gathering resources involves coming back and forth between these pans. And just kind of a way that I've found to be one of the more efficient ways to get this bit of a menial task done. One of the things that you'll find when you play this game is there's a decent amount of monotonous tasks that you have to kind of keep up with. And the more efficient you can be with it, obviously the quicker you'll get through it. Now, this is a sandbox game, so we're stuck. Well, now I get to show you the unstuck feature. Hit your escape menu, and you'll see this little button over here that says unstuck. I'm going to click it, and boom, character is unstuck. Interesting, this is a sandbox game. You can be as efficient or as inefficient as you want. You're not required to play efficiently, do as you like, but this is just kind of the efficient way that I've found of it, is I'll use my cart, and I've got 5 buckets. If I'm feeling really ambitious, I might use 10 buckets and 10 pans, but 5 is enough to really get you going, and I'm going to fill up my 5 buckets here. I'm just going to leave them on the cart as I do this. As you can see, our hole is starting to get decent size bigger here, and we're just going to continue filling up our buckets just one by one until they are all done. And again, you can do this with 5 buckets like I'm doing here. You can use 10. You can use 10 pans. You can use 5, and you know, every time you fill all 10 buckets, do 2 sets over there. That's all up to you. For now, I'm just doing 5 and 5 just to make it a little easier here. So we've got 2 more clicks to fill this bucket up. And boom, all filled up. Head back on over, and then leave the cart nice and flat. And we just dump the dirt in, put the bucket down. No, do what I want. There we go. Stand the bucket. Oh, stand the bucket up. There we go. You just grab each one, and I'm not even going to worry about the buckets for now. I'm just going to throw them back in. This will be... Normally this isn't this rough, but throw them all in there. Throw the buckets back in the cart. Do the brushy brushy. And then, ooh, this one has a new resource in it. This is Cloudium. This is that other resource that I said you couldn't find in the top layers. So the reason I got that is because my hole is deep. Or kind of. It goes below the bottom layer. You can't find any Cloudium on this top surface layer of dirt, but this second layer and down is where you'll start to see it. So that's worth a decent bit, so we will definitely be selling that. Let's put all of our dug up gains. Oh, we got a ruby. So uncut ruby there. We'll put all of our goodies into this bucket. And let's take this bucket for a ride. Again, we're going to bring the cart right on over to the shop where we're going to be buying stuff next. And then we'll run our bucket up the hill. Again, soon we'll go get a cart that basically moves as fast as you do sprinting so that we can get around a little bit quicker here. Not have to just drop the cart off. We'll be able to haul it up this hill with us and not have to do the little back and forth game. I'm going to drop this here. 634 Hydrocoins. Look at that pile. Now this bucket has some water. I'm going to pour it out. You'll also notice there's some stuff that didn't sell. These shards. These are used to power certain things in the game. You can't sell them. They just kind of hang out, and we'll use them later. So throw our money into one pile. 658 coins. Feels great to have a whole bunch of money. As you can see there, I did that 5 pan to bucket thing 5 times. So I'd say about 500 is what you can normally expect. I got more because I found that I got that piece of Cloudium. You won't get a piece of Cloudium every single time you do it. When you dig deeper, you got a higher chance, but at the start, it's not really going to happen too often. We did get a little bit lucky there. But now we're going to buy the next piece of progression. So things to progress with are the grinding wheel. This lets us turn those uncut gems into cut gems. We're not going to bother with that yet. Instead, we're going to buy a furnace. So one small furnace. And then to go with the furnace, you need a crucible. And then we also want an anvil. And then the last thing we'll need is a blacksmithing hammer. So we're at 295 here out of 658. I think we can actually afford a grinding wheel with it. We can. And then the last thing I'm going to want is a concrete floor here. And I'll show you what we want this for again in just a minute. Let me drop it. There we go. So things on the buy floor have a hitbox still, so dropping things can be a bit of a pain sometimes. But we got it to place. So we're buying all the things for blacksmithing and a concrete block, which again, I will show you what we're going to use that for in just a minute. Trust me, you want this concrete block. It will save you a bunch of headaches. So we're going to buy it. Our money's going to go down to 274. And let's start throwing stuff into our cart. Now I'm going to do the concrete block last. But we're going to jump up here, drop the forge in. Anvil can go next. And the crucible. And remember, things lose their hitbox, so you can kind of just yeet them into your cart. We'll throw everybody in here. And then the last thing we'll do is throw on this block. And again, we're going to press E on it, and it magically snaps everything to the cart. We've got all of our goodies. Let's head back over to Ember Cradle and set up our new items. But first, we're going to sleep. Get ourselves a nice, fresh, new day to begin the next phase of our billion money grind. So the first thing we're going to do is, you'll notice you can, just drop the furnace anywhere. It's not going to work like this. We actually have to place it. So put it in your hand, click, and then place it. Now the fun thing is, to use this, you got to put the crucible in it. So you put the crucible in, you can see it's getting hot, and this is how you heat stuff up. But what you can do is you can place a concrete block on top of it and just kind of clip it. And this gives you a flat surface to throw your crucible on, so it doesn't do any sort of weird tilting. You just kind of throw it on there. It also later lets you heat bars up on the same furnace you're using the crucible in, because you can put them anywhere on this concrete and it'll heat them up. It is pretty cool, so being able to clip this in is super awesome. We've got our grinding wheel, which we're going to throw right there. We've got a anvil, which we're going to throw right here. Now, it's half submerged because this top layer isn't a full layer. We'll deal with that later, make it look nice. We're going to throw our hammer here. And you know what? You know what we're going to do? We're going to go back. We're going to run back over here because we can afford something that we didn't buy a minute ago that we probably should have. So we'll put that there. Where'd my coins go? There they are. So again, things don't have a hitbox. So I picked up my coins and dropped them back. Because this thing didn't have a hitbox, they went onto the cart instead of inside. So 274 coins. Tool rack, 78 coins. We're going to buy that. And then, is there a rake here? No, there's no rake here. Got to go to the other town for the rake. Got it. But we're going to buy the tool rack. Throw it onto my cart. Take my money with me. Again, I just don't like leaving it behind. You know, you can technically just leave your money in here, but who leaves their money at the store? You take it home with you. It's natural. So we'll come running back, and what we can do with this tool rack is we'll place it right here. So we placed it facing the wrong way. And then what we can do is we can press E, and boom, the item goes into the rack. We're going to get a bit of a stutter here. This game does kind of stutter and freeze up every so often, so give us a minute while it unfreezes. Cool, it unfroze. Let's grab our shovel, and we can put our shovel in there as well. And now it's all nicely stored up, not bouncing around on the ground. And our next step is we are going to do, again, some more panning and get to do the blacksmithing thing. So give me a minute. I'm going to do some panning, and I'll show you how this works. All right, some more diggy has been done. As you can see, our hole is getting quite large. I went ahead and I did 5 more buckets, so the same amount we did in the first time. That way we can kind of see the difference in how much we're able to make doing the same amount of digging. I've also taken the time to separate the materials out by hand. You do not want to try to smelt all the materials stacked together, because what will happen if you mix your gold and your iron and you try to make an ingot out of it, it is going to give you whatever material you had the most out of. So if you combine these two and say there's more iron, well, you're not going to get any gold. It's just going to pour into an iron ingot, and you're just going to lose the gold. It just goes poof. So don't mix types. We also did get a little bit lucky, and we got 2 pieces of cloudium this time instead of just the 1, so that'll help our profits significantly. I also did do some shopping off camera here, so I bought a second concrete block. This is to hop up on and walk on. It just makes it a little easier. Bought one from the ground there, dug a little hole for it and stuck it in there so I could put the anvil actually on solid ground. Also bought some tools that I didn't have before. We went and got a saw. I'll show you what that's for in a second. And I got an ingot mold because I forgot this part. We need ingot molds to be able to pour out. First thing we're going to do is we're going to cut some gems. So we see I've got here a sapphire, and that is an emerald. We're going to pick it up, click our wheel, and look at that. We have cut sapphire. So the same with our emerald, and boom. And there is 2 more gem types. There is a ruby and an onyx. There is a varying rarity. I believe these are the most common. Second common, ruby is the rare, and then onyx is like the ultra rare, and you don't see too many of them. So to start with smelting, let's do our iron first. So I'm going to hop up here, and this is why these platforms are nice. I'm going to line up in the center, and I'm going to dump my iron in. You're going to get that glorious sound, and because I've had the crucible sitting up here, it melts pretty quickly. So the iron is in here. I'm going to pull it out, and I'm going to click the ingot mold, and that made me an iron bar. I'm going to put the iron bar on our little rock here, and as we can see, it is starting to heat up. We're going to be working this into a something. We'll do that in a minute, but we'll smelt up the rest. We can see it's getting nice and hot. We need it to be hot when we are ready to craft it. So we're going to get the gold going. It's going to make that wonderful sound for us. Pour it into an ingot. Put our crucible back. We're going to put the gold bar back on so it stays nice and hot. And then I'm also going to smelt up the shard into a bar just so that it is one solid item. Again, we can't sell the shard, but it's nice to have it in one solid bar. I will tend to combine all my shards into a single bar until I actually need it. And then we'll make a bar out of the Cloudium here. Now it's just going to be a little baby bar because, well, there isn't that much of it, but it's something. We don't need to heat this one up because we are just going to sell it here. So we'll just throw it in our sell bucket. And we do only have one coin left. It's over there, you know. We can leave a coin. It's like dropping a penny at the store. But let's take a look at how things actually get crafted here. So as the sun sets on us, we will put our not very good lamplight right here. Actually, can I stay there? Yeah, there we go. That's the fun thing is, look at this hitbox. Look at that. You can just throw it on there and it just lets you. I love it. So let's start with the anvil. If we left click, we can start changing what we're trying to make. So what you can see here is this first thing depicts what material is needed. So this needs a gold and it needs a gem. You can also make a necklace where you need 2 gold bars and a gem. And then on the iron side, you can make a dagger with 1, an axe with 2, and a sword with 3. Now, you could go and do the diggy and make more bars, or that's where the saw comes in. I'm going to walk over this piece of iron, and I'm going to cut it in half. So there's 2 pieces of iron, so I can make an axe with it. And the gold, I'm also going to cut in half, because I want to make a necklace. Actually, we're going to cut it in half twice. We're going to make a necklace and a ring, since we have 2 pieces of this. So we'll make our ring first. We will make it using one of the small bars. We will go ahead and drop it on top while it's nice and red hot. Put on our sapphire, grab our axe, or not axe, hammer, and boom. Look at that. A little sapphire ring. Let's put it in our to-be-sold bucket. It's getting dark, but we're going to continue working through the night here. We're going to place down our emerald, grab our other 2 gold bars, and you'll note that they don't have to be the same size. These are 2 very different size bars onto the platform, and bang. Look at that. A emerald necklace. Throw that in. And now for the iron, we are just going to make the axe. So we'll throw both these on here. We'll grab our hammer again, and boom, axe. Now, the more material you use, the bigger these things get. When you use these giant bars, this axe is freaking massive. It's like to here. So it can be a bit of a pain when it comes to sell time. So we're going to drop it in the bucket and then immediately pick up the bucket, and kind of the same trick as the cart. It breaks the physics and locks it up so that it's now just an axe floating there. I'm going to run over. I'm going to grab my cart, throw you in there. And yeah, this stuff is all ready to sell. So let's take the cart over to the store, since we will most likely be buying stuff after this sell. And then we will run our new stuff up to the top. Now, last time when we did 5 runs of buckets, we made 650 Hydrocoins. Let's see how much we make taking that extra little time to do the smelting step. Would you look at that? 789. So we bumped up our profits a decent little bit. Got ourselves a bigger stack of coins. All that's left is the shard bar. And we have some more money to spend. And that right there is kind of the tier 1 of getting things. All manual, no bit of automation. We've gone ahead and made our coins. And we're going to get to spend them next time on some machinery. As for now, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.